Good morning, everyone. I have been meditating and thinking about a couple of topics that we've been talking about together. One was when Robin went over goals and skills. The other topic is duplication. So what I just had this brainwave about a week ago. It wasn't even a brainwave, it was a picture in my mind of how we can train to train. Because if we're duplicating, we want an exact copy, right? So I had this image that I felt I'd love to share. I could draw it on a piece of paper. I could sort of explain it with words. And then I thought, I'm going to see how I can do by creating a Canva presentation. My knowledge of Canva is a little limited. It took me a while, but I had such a desire to share this picture that I had in my head that I persevered. I'm sure some of you can relate to this. We're going to talk about our Live Younger cycle of success. It's not going to be anything new, but what I hope is by presenting it in a different format visually, some of you might have an aha. So here we are. We all know about our getting started, easy as 1, 2, 3 on liveyoungersuccess.com.
Judy, you're not in presenter mode. You need to click the present.
I am in present according to my understanding.
No,
can you see it?
There you go. Yep, now we got it. It should be full screen.
I know. If I put it, so as I said at the very beginning, my knowledge of Canva is a little limited.
Go up to click present.
Yes.
And present full screen, top right, top left circle. Go straight up.
Except I don't get that when I do that. So rather than...
Yeah, it's right there, Judy.
We got it?
No. You're presenting part of the screen. You're not doing the full present. There's a round circle on the top.
What we're going to do is just do it.
There you go.
Liz, we're just going to do it like this. It's not going to be as pretty as I wanted it to be, but the information is going to override my lack of knowledge in how to present with Canva. Have any of you ever felt a little trepidation before you go out to present, talk about X39 or to present the business opportunity? Well, you just kind of have to improv your way through it, but we have a structure behind it, which is what I'm doing. I'm sort of improving here. My desire to share is greater than my technical ability, but I think really when our desire to connect with other people is so powerful, it overrides any mistakes we think we may have made in a presentation to our prospect. I just say, keep your heart big, have a desire to connect, and you can't go wrong. All right. So here we are, the Live Younger cycle of success, getting started, easy as 1, 2, 3, and our daily action plan, an image that Liz created, which I absolutely love. Daily action plan for any of you who are new here for the first time. 1, we connect. 2, we peak. 3, we point. 4, follow up. 5, enroll. So if you're brand new, you're going to be wondering, what on earth is that? But you add those two together, and here's really our cycle of success. The getting started steps. And from there, you go into connect, heart to heart. We have Gregory to thank for adding the heart to heart. Piquing interest, creating curiosity, pointing to a tool, following up, enrolling, and from enroll, a customer two options, PC or PC plus. If they become a brand partner, then they go right back. They begin the cycle into the getting started steps. And we're into connect, peak, point, follow up. But the main purpose of this image that took me forever to create, but the desire was there, is to introduce people to the concept that you may go round this circle once with one person. They say, yes, I'm ready to get started. I want to be a customer. I want to be a brand partner. Or they're not ready. And you could go around the circle many times with another person before a decision is made. And I often feel that this circle is what many of our new brand partners are missing. So this is the overall cycle of success. Then we have our connect heart to heart. We have a document. I put it together with all of our little expressions, but it's a format. It's linear. It appeals to certain types of personality styles. Other personality styles like the visual. So I decided to put them into little bubbles just to change the presentation mode. And on that document, where I put various phrases, I categorize them, right? You connect, here are some good phrases, pique interest, a few more. So it's exactly the same. I'm not presenting anything new, just a different visual for it. The bubble on the left is what you're thinking to yourself. We're going to connect. They're going to love this. They're going to think it's the best thing ever. We're going to walk away with at least a great conversation. And having that in your heart makes all the difference, I find. That's from Jessica Higgins, from a book, Freakishly Effective Social Media for Network Marketing. I said this phrase to myself. I thought, I don't think I've ever really said that. I came across it the other day. So last night and this morning, I was thinking about this morning, I thought, I want to connect heart to heart with people, which is why if you make mistakes, you talk about your mistakes, you be real. And they're going to love this. They're going to think it's the best thing ever, just the format. And if you're calling somebody, here's one of our little words at work from that document, Words at Work on liveyoungersuccess.com, and it applies by phone. Did I catch you at a good time? So we want our new brand partner to have the shortest route to success possible. And these phrases, this system has been around for decades upon decades in network marketing. Gregory Mascari, the master of systems, put together the cleanest, most streamlined outline for how to build a business. Getting started, steps 1, 2, 3, that's where you prepare. And then you go into your daily action plan. And first you connect heart to heart. Next, piquing interest. Here are 8 entry phrases that for whatever reason seem to work well for the majority of people. Every style of personality hears things in a different way. So if we're talking in one particular personality style and the person is they won't connect. But these phrases seem to work for all.
I don't even know you're talking to me.
So these phrases seem to work for all personality styles. This may or may not be for you. This neutralizes the mind. They sit back, they relax. Oh, good, I'm not going to have to make a big decision here. Just out of curiosity, what do you know about? I've recently learned about. Who do you know who is looking for extra income? Who do you know who's in pain? Hey, what do you know about stem cells? Is there one thing about your health you'd like to change? Just imagine if. We're familiar with these phrases. Point to a tool. Here's our bubble, what we're thinking behind the scenes. In our head, our mindset. We can teach skills, but we can't teach mindset. What we're doing here, going through these little bubbles, the daily action plan, this is a skill that we can convey to our new brand partner. So you're thinking to yourself, you've connected, you've piqued interest, you get a feeling for the person, and you could ask that what would be best for this person, a video or a website? We've got the LifeWave Now, and not a lot of options to share for a new brand partner. There are other options which you can add on to, but the simplest for a website, liveyounger.com username, personalized, liveyoungersports.com, copperpeptidebreakthrough.com if they really want to know, well, tell me exactly how this works. And Big Al, Tom Schreider, one of my favorite trainers in network marketing, and actually life in general, said for whatever reason, 5 words seem to open the mind to be receptive. He said, I don't know why, they just do. Would it be okay if? Would it be okay if I sent you a video? Permission marketing, would it be okay if I sent you a website? The majority of people, after they hear, would it be okay if, say yes. So we just want the person to receive the information, understand it. After that, it's up to them. So would it be okay if? Then under follow up, what did you like best about? Or what stood out to you about? Ask a question that doesn't have a yes. You want your new brand partner to have the best chance for success. Do you have any questions for me? Sounds like you're ready to get started. Just sounds like you are. Big thing here, when they say yes, stop talking and enroll them. I've met a few brand partners. Their prospect says yes, the brand partner is so excited. They launch off on many other things. Oh my goodness, you're going to love our Zoom calls. I really want you to meet this person. And I didn't tell you about, and by 10 minutes later, the prospect says, you know what, I think I'm going to enroll. Maybe tomorrow, let's talk about it. If they say yes, start enrolling. If they're not ready, simple question. What else do you need to know to move forward? Make it sound like you, but that's basically the gist. Don't lose your personality in this, but these are skills we can convey, phrases they can use that will give them the greatest opportunity to connect with the greatest number of people, so the person has a chance to open their mind and hear. So then they say enroll. You're thinking to yourself, I always do what's in the best interest of the person I'm enrolling. You might just need one more of this or one more of that to get more points, to get to a new rank. But always do what's in the best interest of the person I'm enrolling, because all the way through this, we're staying connected heart to heart. Robin and Dr. Sarah, together in various ways, have come up with these 2 questions you can ask that let you know whether it's going to be better customer, better brand partner. Are you going to be using the patches just for yourself, or do you plan on sharing them with others? Simple way to know if customer or brand partner is a better option. And as I said, we're reviewing what we already know. We're looking at this as a skill that can be taught, phrases that can be taught, a structure that can be taught or trained, a system. We can help with that. The mindset is more up to the individual. So the cycle of success is simple. Training is the key. 1, train your new brand partners to train, then let the cycle repeat. 2, they train their brand partners to train and watch it duplicate. So here's the essence of network marketing, the sauce that makes it work, the key that opens the door. Training your new brand partners to train. Getting started, 1, 2, 3, daily action plan. This business doesn't grow because one person is great. It grows because the system is duplicated. And so the word train, we talked about that a lot. And I thought, well, this morning I thought, I want to add one more slide defining training. because maybe we're not all on the same page when we think of that. The word train implies a repeatable process, clear steps, skill transfer. We can do this if we keep it simple, honed down. And when you train to train, this is the exciting part. When you train to train, you create systems that support individuality, don't lose your personality, structure, not guesswork, and predictable outcomes. And all through this, we're staying connected heart to heart. That's just not phase one, and then we're on to piquing interest, and now we're going to point to a tool. As Zig Ziglar said, you can have everything you want in life if you will just help enough other people get what they want. This is why I love the network marketing, relationship marketing, word of mouth business so much, because it's all, for me, contained in that phrase. You can have everything you want in life if you will just help enough other people get what they want. We want to help people. What we can actually do in this helping is train our brand partners to train their brand partners and follow the system, because as Gregory said, people don't duplicate, systems do. So back to the beginning, the Live Younger cycle of success. Thank you very much, Gregory Mascari. Robin always told me prior to working together with LifeWave and Live Younger that Gregory was a systems guy. I didn't know what she meant, but Gregory has put together such a clean, streamlined system that we can train others to. No matter what personality style they are, it all works. So thank you, Gregory. And Liz, once again, thank you for that image. It's my favorite Live Younger image. I love the casualness of it. I picture it as a picnic bench, maybe hot chocolate, the LYS, and there in handwriting, the daily action plan: connect, peak, point, follow up, and enroll. I'm going to stop the share, which wasn't the best share in the entire world that you've ever seen on Live Younger before, but it came from my heart. I was keen to share. And as I said, we can teach skills. Okay, over to you, Liz. And next time I'll know how to do the Canva a little better. But here we are now.
Well, thank you, Judy. That was a wonderful layout and example of how to train and become trainers. So if any of you have any questions, if you want to raise your hand down at the bottom of the screen, you can click on raise your hand. If you don't see it, it's in the more area or reaction area. So
can you bring us back to gallery format, please, and thank you?
yes.
Oh, good. I like to see everybody. I don't like to talk to myself. That's okay.
Okay, so
There you all are. Oh, that's much better.
Sunshower, you have your hand up.
Thanks so much. What a great presentation, Judy. I was wondering about the word predictability. Could you mention a bit more? I don't know exactly what the slide said, but it's like if you do this and do this, it becomes duplicatable and therefore predictable.
Well, and before I bring up the slide presentation again, because we know we want to point to a tool if we're explaining something, right? Thank you very much for your feedback and your input on the slide presentation, along with Lotus Lynn Nip. Both of you were offered lots of wonderful things, along with Susan Tate. So it was a co-creation here. Let me go back to our screen share. Can you see that all right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
It's even better than it was when I did the presentation. Oh, miracle of miracles. Which slide were you asking the question about?
Well, I don't know the number of the slide, but
No. What was the content? What was your
it
question?
was about duplication and train to train. it was a step format, and the last thing said something about therefore predictable.
Here we are. Can you see this?
Yes.
Good. Predictable outcomes.
Right.
Most of us are very entrepreneurial when we join network marketing. Creative, innovative. Most of us have sort of risen to whatever ranks or calling we did prior to network marketing because of that creativity. It's very challenging for people like that to follow a system. And so they think, well, yeah, that's great for everybody else. I'm talking from personal experience here, but surely I'll do it this way and I'll do it that way. I've listened to brand partners who want to do this and want to do that, and they want to talk about all the products right away. And I can't guarantee that they will have any degree of success because it's unknown what they're doing. However, if they follow this system, use these phrases, go through in the order of, connect, peak, etc. And if they show a video, they don't try to explain it. If they show a website, then it's predictable. I can't guarantee they will have success, but I can guarantee they're on the shortest, cleanest, quickest path to success. Does that help?
Yes, thanks so much.
Oh, you're welcome. I'll leave this up just in case, even though I won't be able to see all of you, just in case you have a question about another slide.
Okay, and someone was asking if they could get the slides. I will add a PDF of the slides on the liveyoungersuccess.com website under what's new when we put the today's training on the replay section. So go to what's new and then click on the replays, and it will take you down to today's presentation. It does take time for the video to what they call propagate, in other words, convert it over. So it will be later on this afternoon sometime.
So in terms of predictable outcome, if you invite your brand partner to go over the 3 getting started steps, 1, 2, 3. Then afterwards you say any questions, you want to make sure, if you signed up for the newsletter, and you introduce them to our daily action plan, they have the best chance of success, because under piquing interest, we say, do not explain. Let somebody else do the explaining. So a brand new brand partner can take their brand new partner through this system, which is training to train right away. They don't have to wait and read everything. It's the essence of it is simple. I'm talking about the forest rather than identifying all the trees in the forest. So introduce them to the forest first. Anyone else with another?
I'd like to add that part of getting the predictable outcome is, in addition to following these steps, 3-way calling is going to be your best asset, because you can get the third-party validation of what everything you have been saying and or showing to the prospect. And so get your up team involved, whether it's your sponsor or your leader, whoever you're working with, teaming up helps to get the predictable outcome.
And you could see Sunshower jumping around, putting up hearts, floating hearts. Thank you for the 2 videos you have done on 3-way calling. They're up on Live Younger Success. I invite you all to watch or rewatch those 2 videos and put it into practice. No one in all the decades has ever been able to explain adequately the mystery of why 3-way calling works. It just does. So if we're told over the decades by all the professionals who have risen to the top, it works, why not use it? Why it helps your predictability of your outcome. Any other questions?
Dr. Velvet has her hand raised.
Judy, thank you so much, because as a person that's owned several businesses, sold several businesses, you were right on target of how that resistance was. Because when I heard the word duplication, my first response was, is nobody can duplicate me. I'm original, I'm creative. And so you're absolutely right. Once I came down off of that pedestal, I was able to put those predictable activities in place and share those with my team. They were able to replicate what I was doing, right? And so it was training that duplication, allowing them to be original. So I had a little bit of struggle there, Judy, and I'm so glad that you called it out the way that you did, because many of us may be feeling the same way and not even understanding why we feel that. So I'm so glad that you brought it to the awareness, and I'm so glad I'm over it.
Well, it took me about 2 years to get over it. That was a lot of wasted time. All right. Thank you, Dr. Velvet. Thank you for all you offer and your very beautiful slides that you present so easily and gracefully. I admire.
Yours were beautiful. They were great.
I'll get to that stage. And Lavelle, before I ask your question, I have to say, when I was putting together this slideshow, part of the impetus for even thinking about doing it was a word you used on our last director's call, rhythm, that there's a rhythm to this business. There's a rhythm to our day. There's a rhythm, and I thought, absolutely, there's a rhythm. And so that was part of why I wanted to show that circle on the second image rather. This one was the rhythm of this part, where you can go around and around, maybe more than once with one person, but getting to the rhythm of it. All right. So thank you for introducing that word to me and to all of us. And what over to you, Lavelle.
Great job, Judy. Um, when you were doing your training, I was thinking about how, guys, I want to encourage everyone we sometimes say you have to slow down to hurry up. Um, it will be to everyone's benefit to go back over the getting started steps, because in network marketing, it's always the basics. And we all get off track once in a while. I like to say you're either on track or you're off track. And I spoke, Kai and I have spoken before, and Kai's a master. And he said it's like network marketing is like going to Paris, like on a plane. They're always getting off track. That you got to get that navigation, the system back in place. And you're so right about three-way callings, Sunshower and you, Judy. We built the organizations just by three-way callings. And sometimes I know it's the up team or your sideline that you can work with, but sometimes it's your brand new person because they're so excited about, oh my gosh, now you can prep them, of course. But sometimes because excitement sells. And then a person like Jonathan Bill gets on and say, man, I got after 16 years, I'm off my high blood pressure medicine. People hear that, they hear that excitement. And three-way calling is definitely the key. You've built organizations of tens of thousands of people just doing that. But like, I just wanted to encourage everyone, go back to the basics, go back over everything that Gregory has put together, get Gregory and Robin and the Live Younger Success team. Thanks so
Thank
much,
you.
Judy. Great job.
Oh, well, thank you, Lavelle. Yes, and we can teach skills, the basic skills that we can teach, that we can sort of understand. So thank you.
Okay, well, we are at the bottom of the hour, and I think that what we will do is conclude this, and next week, Gregory and Robin will be back, and so we'll be getting back in the rhythm again.
Yes, and back in the rhythm.
So, Lavelle, okay,
Liz, can I say one other thing?
sure.
Guys, third party validation is a tool. A lot of times we don't think of it as a tool. I was looking at my notes because I was taking notes as you were doing your presentation, Judy. Third party validation is one of, is the most powerful tool, guys. It is a tool. Don't forget that that is a tool that we use. Thanks so much.
Beautiful. And Ravel?
Thank you very much for today, Judy. The biggest takeaway for me was the fact that this cycle of success can be repeated with the same person. And of course, something I've learned is that teachability and being coachable is so important. So someone that's going to be teachable is going to put as many people as possible through this cycle of success, and also be open to repeating that cycle with the same person. So it's not a question of, oh, this doesn't work because I made 10 calls today. Well, how about making 20 calls that day and keeping it consistent daily, as I already mentioned. Thanks again, Judy. This was a great presentation.
Your middle name is consistency, Ravel. You always inspire me. And the takeaway, 3 words. It's not cycle of success. I like that. Train to train. That's the key. Train to train. Okay, Melanie.
Thank you, Judy. That was an awesome presentation. I wanted to kind of just reflect upon the cycle of success and the idea that it may take more than one circle to get until the point where somebody's ready to get on board. And I'm just curious to hear other people's experience about what that's been like for you. Like what, how often are you actually getting to those people who are ready to go on the first go around, versus, having to go back and kind of gauge somebody's communication style, their timing, and when it's appropriate to go back and share again, maybe in a different way without, being too aggressive or whatever, being more in service to that person's best interest and what they need to be educated to make a good decision for themselves.
Liz, are we okay staying on for more questions?
Sure. Yes.
Would anybody else like to answer Melanie's question?
How about it takes as long as it takes? One of my managers just mentioned that a new preferred customer she had talked to initially a year ago and had several communications with, answering questions. And then she invited her to a LifeWave event. And that's what made the difference. So I could say to myself, well, I've tried with this individual, it's not working, but did I absolutely try everything? Did I invite them to a LifeWave event? So that's a very vague answer. I don't think it's a pat answer. It depends on the individual. Thank you.
And if you remember, we're in permission marketing. Ask them, when could I get back to you? Or have a conversation that's heart to heart. Beautiful, Ravel. Thank you. Anybody else want to answer Melanie's question?
Yeah, well, I think that like Ravel just said, it's timing really. Um, like every few days or every once a month, it just depends on the individual. But we have talked to people, and when we first got in 6 years ago, they weren't ready until 3 years later. You just never know because timing is everything. Um, that's just the way it is. But once a month we call it dripping on people. But it depends on the relationship you have with that person. It's a number of factors that is involved in that. But just keep dripping on them because the name of the game, it is all about timing.
And
It could be once for one person, 17 times for another. As long as they're open, you're not pushing. People, big fear in network. I don't want to push. I don't want to push. If it's
Judy?
permission marketing, it's good. Over to you, Michelle.
Yes, yes. I just, not to get and interrupt the flow of these people who have hands up, but I just wanted to finish and round out what Lavelle said and to respond to Melanie's question. So yes, I totally 1,000% agree with Lavelle, Lavelle, what he just shared. And what I ask often, if people say they're not interested, I just say, may I stay in touch with you and share a video that I think would be, of interest. And I never have gotten a no. So I will often drop a video once or twice a month to these people. And sometimes they do come around and they want to join. So thank you.
Okay, Roy, and then Danielle. And thank you, Michelle. I love hearing so many different ways of saying the same thing. Roy.
Good morning, everyone. I am encouraged by the training that it always brings back in focus. And I've been in sales over, 45 years. And I remember when I was with Prudential selling life insurance, and after you run out of your warm market, your family and friends, your manager, you said, well, who do I talk to next? And back in those days, you had a phone book, your yellow pages and white pages sitting on the desk. He just reached down, ripped the page out the phone book, and he said, how many names do you think are on this page? And he said, I bet you if you go through all of them, just ask them a question about what they don't want to do, you'll find out the ones that will do something. And I thought it was undoubted. And as I listened to the trainings over time, it is a matter of creating a rhythm and a system, and then having a duplicatable system, because duplication is the hardest, most challenging part of this for me. Because as a salesman, I go in and get the sale, but it's hard to get them to do what I do.
Training to train, right?
Yeah. So this is invaluable. But as Lavelle says, it's the dripping, and as you said, the dripping method. So we have all different types of drips, and managing all the drips throughout the day creates that rhythm. So thanks so much for, reinforcing that. I took, notes and just meet people where they are and just document it and move on. Because as the rhythm increases, then I think that the success rate goes up. So thank you once again.
Beautiful, beautiful. Danielle.
I loved this. This was, honestly, this was so good and so clear and so simple. I'm going to send this out to every single person in my team, because I don't even have to speak anymore because you've said it all. But to Melanie's point, I learned yesterday, and I'll be brief, is that when my instinct is in place and my certainty is in place, it happens. And I made a call to somebody who used to be in my other network marketing company years ago. And I've been dripping on her as I go into the store because she's the manager, and I've been dripping on her. And yesterday I was like, this is done. And I just called her at the store. I said, listen, I need 2 minutes. You got to, I'm building a tribe here. You have to come back home. You have to be with me. And she was like, okay. And I was like, what took me so long to get to that point where I knew for sure that this was done? So I think certainty about yourself, this training is enough to me that anybody could walk away and feel more certain. So I just want to thank you, because I thought that was really so adept. So thanks a lot.
When I do a presentation, thank you, Danielle, I always think I'm talking to one person, not to a bunch of people. And I did something different before this presentation, which reminds me of an age-old network marketing thing, which is, before you pick up the phone, smile. Take Gregory, if he has a call scheduled with somebody, he sets aside 5 minutes before that call, probably give or take, depending on the day, but the intention, to think of the person. if we add what Jessica Higdon says, I put the first sentence there, we're going to connect, because that's what Live Younger is all about. But Jessica said, they're going to love this. She says it out loud. They're going to love this. They're going to think it's the best thing ever. We're going to walk away with at least a great conversation. I mean, what a beautiful way to move into talking with someone. So I found it really made a difference. I invite you to give it a try, see if it works for you, come up with your own languaging. And before we say, oh, Ravel, over to you.
Pardon me, Judy, just one last thing. I'm so glad that you included Jessica Higdon, because in the book that you recommended to me, that you quoted earlier, she mentioned that she only had it might have been 5, but definitely under 10 contacts. So much for the rationale, I don't know enough people. She used creativity to get her, her information out. Thank you.
Oh, great. Thank you. And you're not interrupting. You're part of the rhythm of the conversation this morning, Ravel. Sunshower?
In addition to what Jessica Higdon was just, what you just said, that she says, is I was taught a long time ago that this helps too. When you are on a call with someone, stand up, walk around, have your head up, smile. It's funny, people can sense this stuff. I mean, it's a whole different thing if you're you're leaning forward or something, you're maybe a little tired at that point or whatever. No, and it's all red, it's not just about us being together physically and reading each other that way. It's also audible, and they pick up your mood. So keep smiling, everybody.
Keep on smiling, keep on patching. Yes, and I just put the title of the book in the chat. And the other trainer I mentioned this morning is, he's so funny. And he takes it lightly, but he teaches skills. The skills he teaches are, you can say this, and there's a very good chance you'll have the predictable outcome. Very good chance this will work for you, like maybe 80%. And his name is, and his books are short, which is always good. The print is pretty big. Oh, shoot. Tom Big Al Schreiter. I just want to get this into the.
I put it in, Judy, for you.
Good. Oh, good. Thank you.
I think it's DER, isn't it?
Well, I was trying to talk and type. I didn't do too well. No, it's a T, Schreiter.
Is it? Okay.
But thanks, in case it was. Lavelle?
I'd like to go back to rhythm with everyone. And third-party validation. You want to, of course, promote your person that you're going to speak to. Like, if that's a whole nother training. But when you give third party, and Judy, you said you don't know what that magic is about third party. It's what the master teacher said. Those who are believers, he said, a prophet's not honored in his own hometown. So they say you.
Yes, I like that, yes. But we still don't know why that is so.
And because even husband and wife sometimes, so you can say something to your spouse, but if someone else says it, they
I know, it's a mystery, isn't it?
And then the other thing about rhythm is when that third party, if you've already promoted that person as your expert, please don't interrupt that person when they're speaking to your prospect, because you will devalue their expertise. If you promoted them, well, I'm new, but my partner's an expert. We'll love for you to talk to him. Let them do their thing, but make sure you set it up so that you guys will have a great experience. But let them, because everybody, like you said, we're rhythm creatures. And if that person is on a roll sharing their story, don't interrupt them, because you will devalue their expertise.
Well said, Lavelle, well said. And what I often say to a new brand partner who wants to introduce me to someone, I say, you know what? Your friend already has a good relationship with you. So when you introduce us, why don't you just step back and allow me to develop my own relationship with your friend? And the next time we talk, then we can have the three of us can get into it. But I want to develop a one-on-one, heart-to-heart connection with your friend. And if you keep jumping in, it kind of changes things. And so I always get permission and I explain the why. And one other comment that came to mind from someone a few comments ago related to, you've talked to somebody and they're not interested at all. When do you stop? Or they say they're not interested. A mentor of mine once said when somebody says no to her, she just smiles, puts on sort of an impish little look and a smile in her voice and a bit of a chuckle. And she said, now, is that no forever or no for now? And invariably the other person starts to, oh, well, no, not forever. Oh, okay. All right, great. Maybe. And then you set up, when can I get back in touch? Would it be okay if, remember Big Al? Would it be okay if I got back to you? What time works for you? A couple of days, a week, a month, a year, or if I come across something new that I think you'd like about the product and the technology, would you like to know about it? Would it be okay if I said it? Would it be okay if? Okay, Danielle.
Well, I just forgot to add this because I want to thank you again because I'm invited as the talk show host to do a talk with 200 people that have been in compromised situations and rising up. And I've been struggling with it because I wanted to be perfect. I wanted to bring
We
value.
all do.
And I was so struggling. And this morning you gave me that thing that you just repeated is if you come from your heart, it really does show up. And at the store, it's a nonprofit store. The guy said to me, and these are people that have been in prison and downtrodden, and they've come and they're rising up. He said to me, I can just feel your heart. And I thought, he said, you'll be great. And here's this guy telling me, you'll be great. And I talked to millions of people over the years, and I'm like struggling. So that was, I really grateful that you're saying it's okay not to know what you're talking about. It's okay not to be perfect. The system is perfect and life is perfect.
Oh, beautifully said. The system is perfect. The system works.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Thank
There's
you.
an adage in network. Oh, did I interrupt you? Did you want to add
No,
something?
I'm good.
Danielle? Thank you so much. There's an adage in network marketing. Ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice. I've known top earners in many network marketing companies who say, I really don't understand the compensation plan. I just stick with training my new brand partners. I stick with train to train. He said, I know most of it, but if you ask me, I don't really totally understand it. So ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice, but sometimes the ignorance on fire just needs a few opening phrases to give them the best chance for success. Because if they hear no, 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 they're discouraged. It's not for me. Forget it.
It's great.
All right.
Excitement sells. It's be exciting.
And it can turn some people off, can't it,
Mhm.
Lavelle? Depends whether you're talking to task-oriented people or people-oriented people. That's why it's so good to read something about personality styles for this business. I think that's one of the underlying factors. We can invite people to read the books, go to, all that. But to just understand there are basically 4 different types of personality styles that people seem to agree on. They have different titles, right? One might call it red, one might call it blue, one might call it dominance, one might, whatever it is. But this personality style remains the same. And some people are just task oriented. Give me the forms, give me the facts, give me the results, show me the fastest way to get there. And other people, let's just kind of sit back and we'll have a cup of coffee while we're talking about this. And I really want to help people. So just understanding the different styles. And the more we develop all those personality styles in ourselves, the more people we will be able to connect with.
Beautiful.
Okay. And all personality styles make great leaders in network marketing, by the way. So I think that
So
brings.
that would be, it's Heather, Judy. That would be being in rhythm with the personality styles.
we're getting some traction on this rhythm, Lavelle. Thank you, Heather. That's beautiful. Yes. All right. I think we've come to an end. Thank you for the beautiful conversation we had. The flow, network marketing is all about improvisation, isn't it? You get the opening line, and after that, it's a bit of improv. But if you, in the back of your mind, you have that structure, you can keep coming back to that structure. And I want to leave with this particular image. The cycle of success is simple. Training is the key, and we now know what training means. Train your new brand partners how to train. Then let the cycle repeat. You know, you don't have to keep hovering over them, micromanaging. You're there for them. You teach them the skills, and this is a big one, and then they train their brand partners to train, but only if it's a simple system. And thank you, Gregory, for our Getting Started 1, 2, 3, for Liz for manning the liveyoungersuccess.com website, for the daily action plan that Gregory created, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this business doesn't grow because one of us is great and we can enroll 100 people in 2 days. It grows because the system is duplicated. So thank you very much. I enjoyed sharing that inner picture I had in my head a week ago. And thank all of you for interacting the way you did, improving. Back to you, Liz.
Well, if you'd like to say goodbye on your way out, we thank you and we'll see you next week.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much.
You
Great training.
Thank you,
Great
Lee.
Judy.
Job. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, Judy. Training.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
God